Wendy Williams just came out with an insane announcement. Ricky Gervais and Wendy Williams are teaming up to expose Ellen for exactly who she is and how she was involved in silencing opposition. Ellen aired for 19 years, and during that period, Ellen threatened both Ricky Gervais and Wendy. In this video, we're going to look at how they're finally responding.
You know, we haven't seen you really around since the Golden Globes, where
you
were
a low profile.
Yeah, well, they attacked you, but they said that you were mean and rude, and you were surprised at that. You were surprised. Let me just read one of the things they thought was...
I am mean and rude. I'm surprised they attacked me for it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ricky Gervais hosted the Golden Globe Awards 5 different times, from 2010 to 2020. During his last appearance there, Ricky exposed some of the most powerful people in the industry. Every major producer, director, actor, and music executive was there when Ricky came out and said that he knew they were all connected to Jeffrey Epstein. This was back in 2020, 5 years before the Department of Justice would reveal any information regarding the case. But still, Ricky Gervais knew.
What made you think, you know what, I'm just gonna hammer him? I don't care what the...
Well, I thought, when they said, do you want to host the Golden Globes, all that stuff I said in the show was true. I said, I'm going to write my own jokes. Right? And I thought, who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room, or the 200 million people watching at home who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires? And it was a no-brainer. I was doing it for them, you know, and I didn't want to, it wasn't set out to hurt their feelings, but it was, if you're going to make it a spectator sport, then you better have something. There better be something in it for the people at home.
And it wasn't the first time Ricky had gone after these criminals either. During one of his stand-up specials, Ricky even went after the BBC, one of the biggest sponsors of these award shows. As much as Hollywood tries to ignore it, it is a fact that some of the most powerful people in the industry are horrifying monsters that prey on children. Ricky just connected the dots.
The pedo hunter shows, on the other hand, there's usually a company in the crew just in case. I mean, particularly if it's a BBC production. Oh, shut up.
And it's not like Ricky wasn't scared either. He knew what doing that would mean for his career, but unlike all the other celebrities in that room that day, he didn't care. He knew that calling out these predators was more important than any award he could get. At the time, no one really believed him and just sort of laughed it off. But you can see it in the faces of the people that Ricky was naming. They weren't smiling.
Some of the riskiest comedy of your career has been delivered live to millions of people around the world, and a room full of some of the world's most famous film stars and directors and producers, when you were hosting 5 Golden Globe ceremonies between 2010 and 2020, I think. Yeah. Did you set out each time primarily to, puncture the pomposity of that world of celebrity and to expose some of the absurdities and what you saw as the hypocrisies of Hollywood?
Yes, and that got more honed and more targeted and more important and more liberating as I went along. Do I bite the hand that feeds me? Well, the answer is yes. Because who am I doing it for? Am I doing it for the 200 egos in the room, the most privileged people on the planet? Or am I doing it for the 200 million people around the world watching who aren't winning a Golden Globe, who aren't multimillionaires? Of course I'm doing it for them. I'm the fat bloke on the couch eating potato chips watching this. And I played that card. I shouldn't be there. I purposely played the outsider. I walked out with a beer. I walked out, I didn't look like them. I didn't act like them. I didn't think like them. The truth is, I do know some of them. I have got things in common with some of them. I'm an actor, I'm an entertainer. I was there as a comedian. And I think that, again, particularly in British comedy, a stand-up is a court jester. We're down with the peasants, laughing at the king. You've got to be in the mud with them.
Ricky is famous for making offensive jokes, but the second he actually named Jeffrey Epstein and the people he was connected to, the room fell silent. After this, Ricky was banned from ever performing at the Golden Globes again and hasn't been invited since then. The release of the Epstein files 5 years after this show proved that everything Ricky Gervais had said that night was true. Flight logs and emails released by the Department of Justice showed that almost all of the major studios and production houses were involved with Jeffrey Epstein. In some of these studios, Epstein would present himself as a recruiter and ask the models and child stars to come audition for him on his private island in Little St. James. Another name that was never afraid of speaking out and saying what's right is Wendy Williams, and she has actually been forced into a conservatorship due to what she said. When Ellen first announced that she was shutting down her show, every celebrity treated the news like the end of the world. The only one who stood up for the employees that Ellen was accused of abusing was Wendy Williams, and she said that Ellen had a dark side that the industry was trying to hide.
And here's the thing. I'm glad that you thanked your Ellen fans, or whatever you call your nation. But 19 years on TV doesn't change your life. It exposes you for the person that you really are. Suzanne, you've been around the block.
Yes, I have been around the block. No, but I've been in this business for a while.
A long time.
I've worked with some all different types of hosts.
Yes.
And there's a lot that goes on.
Behind the scenes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that all the guests are happy. I was a guest, I wasn't happy. Just saying, Norman. Mm-hmm. And people called me out on it before I was able to say anything about it. Like, oh my gosh, that was... Joelle, you know what I'm saying. You've been around the block.
Wendy was calling out criminals and predators in the industry, while everyone else was trying to cover up their crimes and help them get away with it. And on Ellen's show, Ellen actually laughed at her for trying to expose these elites and actually threatened her live on air. You can see that even Wendy was taken back. She never expected Ellen to actually threaten her on national TV, even if she played it off like a joke. This is exactly why Wendy said Ellen had a dark side. Everyone in the audience thought Ellen was joking, but Wendy knew that she had just been warned. Wendy wasn't known to be threatened. When Wendy Williams exposed Diddy and other music executives in Hollywood for taking advantage of child stars like Usher and Justin Bieber, Diddy actually went on Wendy's show and threatened her using her son as leverage. The instant Diddy named Wendy's son, Wendy's expressions changed. This was the industry's way of telling her to back off.
All right, so here's Wendy Williams. This is back in 1998 in the call that got her fired from Hot 97, Hot 28.
I just want to know, do you really think that every player is gay, or every other player is? Are you a little gay obsessed, do you think?
I'm not gay obsessed, and every other would be an exaggeration, but I would say 2 out of 10.
Okay.
In sports, and 5 out of 10 in music.
Okay.
Yes, and I don't think that's gay obsessed. I think that's after being in this business for over 20-something years and seeing things from the inside out and the outside in.
So next thing she knows, she's fired. And then, again, that was 1998. And then she spoke to Howard Stern in 2006, and he brought it up. Watch this.
Did you get fired for making fun of Puffy?
Something like that. Well, listen, you figure it out. You do the music of what was playing back in 1998 on the majority of every radio station 25 times an hour.
Okay, it's not a denial. And the last but not least, Diddy went on the Wendy Williams show in 2017. So now we're, many years after her firing, almost 20 years after her firing because of that comment. And he makes some comment about her son. Watch this.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Who I met backstage. He
did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You represent a lot.
You can see how awkward she is as soon as she hears they met. And he's now got a visual on the son. And I would submit to you, Wendy Williams was concerned to hear that the two of them had an exchange backstage.
Well, I think that clip is really interesting because it takes a lot to trip Wendy Williams up.
Mm-hmm.
This is a woman who would get on TV 5 days a week, much as you do, and speak extemporaneously,
Mm-hmm.
And this is her world. She's been in it forever. And Sean Combs, you can tell my opinion, that she's taking that as a not so thinly veiled threat.
Wendy Williams was the face of talk shows. For years, she dominated daytime television because of her personality, her unfiltered commentary, and her willingness to say the things other hosts wouldn't. At the height of her success on The Wendy Williams Show, celebrities feared her Hot Topics segment because nothing was off limits. But in recent years, Wendy is being forced to stay silent, shoved into a mental health facility, being force-fed drugs, just because she decided to expose the industry for what it really was.
A horrible person to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the way he moves with other people. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on with these other people at my apartment in Miami? What are you doing? Oh, you spent on what? And what is going on at Wells Fargo?
The terms of Wendy's guardianship seem to be extreme. I've spoke to her several months ago, and she just sounds like the same Wendy. Yes, is she quirky? Sure. Is she eccentric? Sure. She always has been.
And now a new revelation. Her team says a new medical evaluation ordered by Wendy's court-appointed legal team finding she does not have frontotemporal dementia.
She does not have frontal lobar dementia. So that should be game, set, match.
Wendy was one of the first people to speak out against the of young boys in the music world and how parents were leaving their children with known predators just to be able to make some money. Like everyone knew what kind of person Diddy was, even before news of him being a criminal came out, why would any parent give custody of their child to him? According to Wendy, the parents were always in on it.
You know, what's worse, you know, hip hop wearing skirts or hip hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, you know, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality. So I hear what Jamar is saying, but we come from a very homosexual era of hip hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now. So,
do you think now with people like Frank Ocean coming out of the closet, even though he's not exactly a rapper, but he definitely overlaps into the rap community? Mm-hmm. Do you think that we're gonna have a time where it's cool to be a gay rapper?
I don't know.
When the Epstein files came out, the same people who once controlled the industry had no choice but to run away. Ellen herself is in the UK right now and plans to never come back. Other celebrities are also gearing up to leave. These people aren't doing it willingly. They know that they need to get out before the lawsuits start dropping. Talking about lawsuits, there are over 100 different lawsuits from different victims against Diddy. It's like everything Wendy said is being proven true.
Growing fallout over the latest release of the Epstein files, Hollywood mogul Casey Wasserman is selling his sports marketing and talent agency after his suggestive emails with Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell were revealed. Here's ABC's investigative reporter, Olivia Rubin.
Tonight, outrage over the Epstein files forcing a Hollywood heavyweight talent agent Casey Wasserman to sell his namesake firm following the release of his suggestive emails with longtime Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell. In a note to employees, Wasserman writing he had become a distraction for the agency, which represents thousands of celebrities, performers, and athletes. He revealed the sell-off is already underway, following the departure of Grammy Award-winning singer Chappell Roan and soccer legend Abby Wambach. Among those newly released messages, Wasserman, who flew on Epstein's plane in 2002 for a Clinton Foundation-led humanitarian delegation, writing to Maxwell in March 2003, "I think of you all the time, so what do I have to do to see you in a tight leather outfit?" Maxwell responding in April, offering to give him a massage that can, quote, drive a man wild.
The price that Wendy has paid for trying to protect young stars in the industry is too high. But even then, other whistleblowers and victims didn't even manage to get away alive.
How dare him? How dare him? I control me.
Well, and you know your limits, you know.
Let me tell you something right now. I don't need Will for anything.
Carolyn Andriano and Lee Sky Patrick. Two of the witnesses who were named against Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell back in 2021 both ended up dying in accidental overdoses 6 years apart. Here's what the mother of one of those victims had to say.
It makes me sick. Literally turns my stomach.
That's Dorothy Granert's Feeling, whose daughter, Carolyn, was recluded by Epstein when she was only 14 years old. According to her mother, the unimaginable acts that she lived in Epstein's mansion haunted her for years.
A wreck. Because she would disappear out of shame.
Authorities declared her daughter Carolyn dead due to an overdose in May of last year. She left behind 5 children and her mother. The only person somewhat responsible was Jeffrey Epstein, who committed suicide in jail.
I couldn't even sleep in my room because I've got all Carolyn's artifacts of memories we made. And I said to my son, I said, I can't sleep in my own room. All I see is Carolyn.
Right now, Wendy is trying to escape her guardianship. Court-ordered doctors have proven that Wendy never even had dementia in the first place. It was all an excuse to silence her voice. Wendy claims that she's being held against her will.
So, our recent events have been unbelievable. Talk about it.
We came back from dinner, and apparently police were called. But I was told that at some point, police were called because the coterie here was saying allegedly that I took my aunt from this facility and whisked her away without any sort of confirmation or approval. Which according to everything that we have learned in terms of this whole situation, wondering exactly how that correlates with the statements that the Guardian has made that Wendy is able to come and go as she pleases.
Right.
And that there are no family visits that are blocked.
Clearly, they are lying to me when they say I can go out and do what I want to do. This is my niece, Alex. She just flew in from Miami, okay? I just came from the hospital. So we are going out to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate what? I don't know. I'm from the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And of life. Right. And this is what has been done to us.
We're good. We're back.
We're good.
We're back in one piece.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Several investigative journalists have come out and called out Hollywood for what they're doing to Wendy Williams. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates. What do you think about these claims and the stories surrounding Ellen DeGeneres? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.